I've seen some of the companies.
Have dad?
Have a dad?
18 grand.
AGV,
For metal.
VAD.
Kelly and Manuel have dad.
Sounds about right. Up there, off, go over it.
Definitely a liar.
Looks good from my house.
Alright, they got almost a $50,000 metal roof job and they got quoted like 18.
What's up, gentlemen? Good morning.
Yes.
Nice of you to join us, Anthony.
Pricing go up again?
Yes. Want to talk about discounting. The advertising assistance program.
Did you ever call Mike? Yeah, set up for tomorrow.
Sure. Cool. Alright. How do you guys use this form? How do you explain your advertising assistance program?
It really depends on the house.
Normally when I'm walking around, you're boasting about how busy the road is, how beautiful the landscape is, and how pretty it is, and when you get inside, you start talking about, if I could save you some extra money, would you consider me putting a sign in your yard, and maybe doing some stuff, because I know how pretty, we talked about it earlier. You were at a corner, busy, street corner.
Planting a seed. Okay? So I'm glad you started off with that. What needs to, when you're giving a discount to somebody, what do you have to go about? Like, what is the key to discounting, I guess I should say?
Justifying.
It has to be believable.
Okay, so it's got to be believable, you got to be credible for it.
There's some houses that you just can't do this on. So if you
Why?
Well, if you're in the middle of a street and it's on a
Well,
dirt road,
before even talking about the
and there's
advertising
trees
assistance,
everywhere.
before even getting into that, discounting in general, okay? When you're giving a discount, there's certain things that have to happen. What are those things? Not necessarily advertising assistance, we'll get into that, but when you're giving any type of discount.
They're saying no, pretty much, right? I mean, that's when you give.
You talked about it earlier in your pitch, and
Right.
then you got them to agree on it. And so then when you bring something like this up, it's a lot easier to have them buy into it. It has to come down in price.
Yeah.
Definitely, you gotta have price is the
Well,
objection. You guys mentioned credibility,
Yeah.
okay? How do you build credibility inside of your discount? Because if they don't believe your discount, it's fucking bullshit.
Just explain why we do it.
But what do you explain? What do you explain? Why did we do it? What are those things?
The loss of money for coming back a second time, for like the first time promotion.
Okay, so you gotta establish where the money's coming from.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
like seasonal, whatever.
That's good to talk about because we just started with advertising on TV and the billboards, and a lot of times I'm saying, how a lot of companies advertise on TV. We put our money into. We'd rather put it back into our customers.
Built into everybody's pricing is some sort of marketing budget, some sort of advertising budget. Okay, and so what Anthony's saying is instead of spending the money on TV, which is very, very expensive, okay, we use that money in different ways to keep our costs down. So you're showing where that money's coming from. It's coming from our marketing department. Where else is the money coming? Your first time promotion, where's that coming from?
Us making a certain trip,
What's that?
or it's coming from the profit, right?
Okay.
It's
The
trying
profit.
to solve money loss.
If we don't have to keep coming back out seeing customers we've already seen,
Yeah.
okay, and we can take care of business on the initial visit, we're willing to cut our profit down on the first visit because that allows us to see more people. I mean, nobody's gonna get rich off of one job.
Right.
But the more volume we do, we can pack more money into it, so we can afford to take less per job in order to still hit our quotas. Okay, you're helping us out in that fact by allowing us to take care of business today instead of coming back tomorrow, so therefore we save money, that's why we can save you guys money. Okay, so show where the money's coming from. What else has to be established? They have to qualify for it?
Mm-hmm.
What is that customer doing in turn for us? The first time promotion, what are they doing? They're saving us a trip back out, right?
Right.
Advertising assistance, they're doing what?
Signs,
for us.
referrals.
Couple different things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so not only we have to qualify this customer. Why should we give them a discount? They live in a corner lot. Okay, they have a school right across the street. Something makes that person special. People buy or are motivated to buy when they feel like they're getting the deal that nobody else is getting, right? Black Friday just happens to be that day. People call up and bitch all day long to Sprint, to Comcast, or whatever. They do it just to get money off. They feel special because their fucking internet went out at fucking halftime Super Bowl, and they couldn't fucking watch the Super Bowl fucking halftime show, so now they're gonna call it a bitch to get fucking money off their job, right? They feel special because of their inconvenience. We do it all the time. We fuck something up, we show up late for somebody or something like that, they call up bitching and we spin it and give them a discount for it. You know, you show up late for your fucking, or we have to reschedule because we overbooked an appointment. You see sometimes in the notes offered them an extra 10% off because we stiffed them. Usually we'll sell that deal. Because the customer feels like if they didn't get stiffed, they weren't gonna get that extra promotion and they're getting something special. Alright, so they have to qualify. But also too, we talked about it before as well. You gotta create some sort of win-win situation for the customer and the company. We're getting something out of this job. Okay, or for us discounting the job, we're getting referrals, we're getting advertising, they're saving us a trip back out. All right, all of this, guys, goes into one thing when you're getting into your discount, is the story. Building up that story, telling that story, what is going on. Inside of that story, we got to tell them where that money's coming from. It's coming from our marketing department. It's coming from our advertising. It's coming from our profit. All right, it's a win-win. We're getting these signs out there. You're getting the job, but we're also getting, we're keeping our crews busy during the slower time of the year. Okay, we're getting everybody on schedule, so come springtime, we're ready to rock and roll. You got to explain it. Customers want to hear or feel, they like dealing with smaller companies. Okay, they want to feel like they're helping somebody out. So you got to explain to them, how are you guys helping us out? By not, yes, you're signing the paper and we're making money off of it, but what are we gaining from it? They want to know the inner workings of a company and business. Okay, they feel involved in it at that point. So you got to show where the money's coming from, qualifying. Why is that person, why are you getting that discount and your neighbor's not? Okay, with that also being said, creates the urgency. How many times have we given a discount and not said, this is good for today and today only? I've done plenty of times. Shoot yourself in the foot, the customer's like, yeah, if you can get to 10 grand, I'll do it right fucking now. Yep. Okay, no problem. Then we'll make the phone call, you drop it to 10 grand and go, okay, well, I'll give you a call in a week. Well, you told me 10 grand. Well, yeah, I'll do it at 10 grand, but give me a week to sleep on it. You're like, motherfucker. No. Somebody had that the other day. Maybe it was you, or maybe it was David who had
with the text messaging with the guy.
Right.
And he's like, I just need to.
The guy was on a corner lot or something like that. We worked out a hell of a deal because we wanted to work the 2 fucking signs, all of that stuff. But what we didn't put in the fact of the matter was, this deal is for today and today only because it's the end of the month.
Oh, I love
He guy went, oh, I'll call you back next week. Well, he's sitting there thinking, I'm still on a corner. You're still going to put 2 signs out there. What the fuck does it matter if you work today or tomorrow? It doesn't matter. You got to create that urgency. This is good for today. You piggyback it back to your first time promotion. That's where you're laying the groundwork for the urgency. If you explain that right, how that second trip cost us a lot of money, everything else just kind of piggybacks on top of it. And just use that use the line when you're given that promotion of, if we can save the trip back out, I can go ahead and do this for you. That's the line I always use at the end. If you can save us a trip back out, we'll go ahead and do it for this. You're planting the seed, even if you didn't really hit it hard inside of your story of why it's only good for today and today only, that little line can help you out. Especially if you got us on speakerphone or something like that, hearing it from us. Saying, hey, I tell you what, we'll offer employee pricing. If you can save us a trip back out and take care of business while my rep's out there today, I'll go ahead and honor employee pricing. Okay, so the urgency's got to be built in. But again, people want to feel special. So somehow we got to qualify that customer and make them feel special. So you mentioned what, a corner lot. What else? What else can we include in there to make these people feel special?
Landscaping.
How?
Like when you're going through and you find out that this lady did a great job and you talk about how it was professionally done and stuff, then when you're going through your showcase sounds like, you talk about how pretty it is, how nice the yard, everybody's going to look at your yard because the landscaping's all done nice, so use that one.
Yep, it's a good one.
What do they do on first responders?
What's that?
Military, that kind of a discount. Do you have any first responders in your family? Do you have any military? Is your dad in the army? Type of a thing?
Okay, I'll call you next week. My dad's still in the army.
Well, just one that drops.
There's no urgency.
There's like a school nearby.
What's that?
School nearby. Bunch of houses that you've seen.
I agree with the military. It's another angle. I mean, that part doesn't have
There's no urgency with it.
I missed the point, sorry.
But no, because you're right, because even having a school, the school's still going to be there next week.
But no, okay, if you're looking at urgency then, you're talking being the first, and that was what I hit the one last night with, first in the neighborhood. So now we're the first in the you're the first one in the neighborhood, regardless of whether or not you were a show lead. Now, we're gonna do your job, we're gonna make sure your job looks absolutely amazing. And I'm sending my canvassers through, we're gonna nail this neighborhood.
Okay?
Seen a lot of work that needs to be done in the neighborhood.
Oh, it was
when I was
nice.
driving through.
Yeah, I said that.
Poopy little subdivision,
Yeah.
and all cookie cutter.
And this is what you guys should be scouting out when you get there early, okay, at 5:30 or whatever, you take your beacon, drive through the neighborhood afterwards, you know, while you're waiting for the customer to get home and go through. Is there a park? Is there a school? How are you gonna set up your discount? You know you're gonna need it. So what do you know, game plan? What is it gonna take? There's my competitor signs are all over. My signs are all over the neighborhood. You can put that spin any way you need to. There's a park, there's a school, there's a stop sign, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of work to be done. All of these houses are the same age, about 10, 12 years old. So they're gonna start to need to get work done. If I can get my foot in the door here, it's gonna help us out in the future. Okay? But this is stuff you have to include in your story, and you have to get the customer involved in it. Ask them questions. This neighborhood's 12 years old. You're starting to look at getting a roof. You see some of your neighbors have gotten them done too, right?
Oh, there was like one of them ones where you drive in the first part of the neighborhood, all brand fucking new $300,000 houses.
More than
And then
that.
you take a turn and it goes down to fucking 12 to 2,000 square foot little fucking ranches and shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it kind
Yeah,
of
there were some big ass fucking houses in those.
kind of hit him with that
south.
too. I was like, no, your house will match the houses I saw when I first drove into your stuff.
It's kind of an insult.
Damn.
Yeah, he played it off good though.
He
He's
fucking
like,
loved it.
I said it was
Hey.
amazing, and then once I turned in, it was.
Yeah, but if you
oh,
didn't
it's
insult
like
him, you might have got 12 grand instead of 10.5.
Nah,
No, he said I felt like I pulled into my subdivision when I turned into here.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So he didn't
I
really
kinda-
insult them.
Brought myself down there a little.
Technically.
All right, but no, you're in 10, 12-year-old
Don't
subdivisions. Listen,
insult the customer.
don't,
Yeah.
never.
Well, of course.
Okay, but you gotta ask them questions. All of these houses were built around the same time, right? You notice some of your neighbors are starting to get their roofs done. Do you think they wanted to spend $20,000 on a roof, or do you think they were forced into it?
They
You
were
think?
forced into it.
They were forced into it, right? Why? Because they had some leaks.
Yeah,
Now, did the same builder build your house as the ones that are across the street?
Yeah.
Do you think they used different materials on just your house or their house?
No, absolutely
So
not.
they're probably the same materials, built at the same time by the same guys. But now they're having a leak and they were forced to get their roof done prior. You having any leaks yet?
Not yet.
It's a matter of time then before you do, right? So I understand it's not that you want to necessarily get your roof done, but you're going to have to get it done whether you like it or not. You're going to wait till it starts leaking and have all the damage, or you're going to try to be proactive and get it done sooner rather than later. Okay? That's where they're going to try to be pushing you guys off. Well, I can wait. Well, you might be able to wait,
Yeah.
but unfortunately your neighbors were forced into getting it done.
Sorry about the background noise.
All right? They were forced into it.
Morgan.
Okay, you got people that are talking about feeling pressured. You ever have that? I don't want to be pressured. I don't want to be pressured into this. What is a more pressure situation? Sitting there when nothing is going on with your roof, being able to get 3 or 4 bids and finding out with a clear mind what's going on, or when your roof's fucking leaking and it's damaging all your shit, and you got to make a snap judgment on who your contractor is going to be within a couple days to stop the leak. And some of your decision-making process is going to be weighed on the fact that this guy can get my roof done within a week, and the other guys are 4 weeks out. And now you get forced into picking a contractor that necessarily isn't qualified for your job. What's a more pressure situation?
When you're being reactive.
There's a reason that guy's only a week out.
Well, you're getting into all of that, but what you're doing is you're setting up your close. You're setting up that discount. And why? Hey, I want to try to get something done sooner. Where if you wait till later, you're going to run into some problems. Plant the seed that all of your neighbors are getting it done. Why? You really think they wanted to? No, they had to. Well, yeah, I'm planning on doing this next year, but doesn't it make more sense for us to get it done now and pay for it later?
Yep.
If I can do your roof right now, and you can pay for it a year from now when you plan on getting it done, that makes more sense. During your pitch, are you guys talking about price increases? You should be. I'd be pulling out your old fucking price sheet and say, look, this happens 3 times every year. They don't know the fucking difference.
Yeah.
This was our first one. You know what? Let me call and see if I can roll you back into last year's pricing. You know, and then come back and try to get them in, you know, it justifies your discount. Where it's coming from. We get price increases. Every time there's a fucking natural disaster, all these hurricanes that we get hit with every year. Pricing of building materials goes up. You need to explain that during your pitch. Plant the seed that if you wait till next year, it's going to cost you more money. All right? With this advertising assistance program, it's huge. All right, you said the other day that this is taking on a whole new
Yeah,
thing for it.
the testimonial videos especially.
Okay, has anybody seen those videos that we've been posting?
Yeah.
Or that you guys have been posting? I mean, you guys have gotten some yourselves. What do you think of them?
I think they're awesome. I think that'll generate a lot of business, to be honest with you.
It's a reference right there.
You have to be able to like build that reference page from Rodney Wyman, put something like that on a separate page of just, and these are the testimonials if you want to look it up, you know, how people feel about
Mhm.
me
They're
personally.
getting a complete
Yeah.
reference. And they're
Yeah.
talking about the job, they're talking about you, they're talking about everything else. In their words, they're seeing the customer saying it. That's huge. You should be showing that during your pitch. And yeah, I can put it into the, you know, in a PowerPoint and everything
Yeah.
else, but it's more personal when you say, hey, this is my last customer.
Yep.
And
And
they
you
look
pull
like
it out.
them.
What's that?
And they look like
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah. Make sure, yeah, you pull
You
out
got
the
the
right
same
one with the little
flowers
dog and
in
shit in the
the
background. But that's huge, man.
Oh, for sure.
Show them the ones that are on Facebook right now and say, look, we just started getting this program done.
Yeah.
You mentioned it in your pitch. How do you tell your story with it all?
With the testimonial,
Mhm.
I tell him we hired a new guy in the office. He's got all this camera equipment to make it a professional video, and we come in, we ask you a couple questions, and you just tell us how everything went.
Right? We've never were doing that before.
Yeah, we weren't.
I mean, we've had it on the sheet for a year and a half,
But
now it's
never known how
real.
to explain it.
right? Now, I mean, that's like selling a sign discount, not having a sign
Yeah.
in your car.
It's not part of the.
Oh, yeah.
It's not part of the.
You know, it's like, oh, they might buy into it, and then they fucking, you leave and they're looking on the front lawn going, where's that sign you said?
Or giving them a drop you're not authorized to give.
Yeah.
Same
thing.
Don't make a quick call.
Yep. Oh, and then I forgot to make the call.
I made it in the
Sorry,
why?
sorry, buddy, I had to throw that out there.
Hey, I just wanna say, if y'all sold a little bit more, you'd be part of these little fucking, you know, references to what you're not supposed to do.
You know, that's what I mean.
At least I sold it. It canceled, but I sold it.
But it's supposed to,
You fucking clogged up my bathroom. Get the fuck out of here. I'll sign whatever. I can't even tomorrow.
it just goes to show you how easy it is that customer will turn on you when
Yeah.
some type of reality hits them in the face.
Oh, for sure, and the fact that I
You know.
fucking totally got sidetracked
Yeah.
and was just fucking didn't even think about it until 2 days later we were talking about it.
But that's where all of this stuff, guys.
All this
have
shit
to add
don't
up.
mean a goddamn thing if you don't fucking follow through.
Yeah, for your side.
That's the whole thing. You gotta build it up.
Yeah,
You gotta build it up. So,
Okay.
but no, that's the whole,
yeah, for sure. We'll repeat it better.
Morgan. But we got, I mean, guys,
What
this,
would be the
like
best
you were
part?
talking about, you know, building up that story and saying, hey, I got, you know, we got a guy, we just brought him in, everything else, he's coming back, we're gonna ask you for these video testimonials, here, check this last one out. And now they can see it and they see what's going on, but it's real. Oh, I can do that, I can do that. They wanna be Facebook famous and
Right.
shit, you know? So fucking the wife will be like, you had the customer fucking loves you, the one with, Premier.
Yeah.
Doesn't the wife fucking love you and everything
How'd that
else?
go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I got a phone call this morning. He wants his check back. But
Yesterday he was gonna go and he's gonna do
Yeah,
videos
he's
for us.
still,
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, he's still you know, he's like, you're still number one. Da, da, da. Hopefully they can hold it for another week, but because of Premiere, I guess Premiere came back at like 14,300. And
Where were you at?
When Levi said 21, and we're looking at the cost, and it was like, what was it, like 12 or something?
Holy shit.
Yeah, but I guess he called them and asked about why didn't he put baffles on the contract, and they're like, his estimate didn't make any sense, so it was wrong, so they're sending somebody else back out to redo it, and they told him over the phone it was going to be around 19. He said, we're still number one, but I wrote on the end of you can't cancel after Friday, and they're like 73 years old, and I feel like they need more time.
Oh, that's fine. No, we'll give him whatever, but, no, this was the estimate that the guy left him. Just
It was on
basically
an
some
addendum.
scrap sheet of piece of paper, spelled half of the words fucking wrong. We put on here 38.6 squares, we were at 41 and a half, so that's why they said that there's gonna be a difference on it. And it's the fucking owner, John Taylor. He don't, so the owner don't know how to estimate your job right?
Fucking for me.
How do you spell deposit?
DOPOSITE?
Wow.
That's a deposit.
We going to post that, yo,
But I mean, that, but that's where you gotta build it down, the customer said, that's one of the owners.
Yeah.
And he can't even estimate your job properly?
Oh,
What does that tell you?
Is that really the owner?
You know, this is what happens all day long. People come in there, give lowball quotes, and then you come out do it, and then they start ripping off your roof and go, oh yeah, you wanted us to install it, you wanted us to put on? You know, you wanted us to do the garage too? I mean, it's gonna cost you an extra $4,000. And now they're at the same price everybody else is. How many other platforms did they interview?
There was a whole other one.
It was the only one?
Yeah, and they're having like a family
Right.
friend come.
Surprised you
tomorrow,
read it,
too.
it was fucking last evening.
Yeah, just tell them we're gonna put it on hold and everything else for them.
Okay. No, yeah, they said that he thinks the guy's a clown, but they feel bad if they cancel. He won't even get on the roof, and he's just paying for the eagle view. So.
He wants to see what the real square is. I don't get the eagle view. Come back 41.5 squares. That's exactly where we're at. We're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the thing is, guys, build up this advertising assistance program. When you're doing your pitch, show these other testimonies. Not only will they see from a customer's point of view, somebody that looks like them, talking and ranting and raving about why they chose us, what was great about it, they had different quotes, everything else, but you're also planting the seed for when you pull this out later. Remember that video I showed you earlier? Did you have a problem doing one of those testimonials for us? You got a great situation there. I love the Premier one. You know, to be able to use that and say, yeah, I fucking contacted a couple different platinum contractors. By far, Rock Solid was the most professional one out there. This is why we chose them. Okay, yeah, they were a little bit higher than everybody else. Fuck, I want that review all over Owens Corning's website. I want that video testimonial for our fucking website and all over Facebook and shit. Talking about how they interviewed a couple different platinums and chose us because of our professionalism and all that. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, so when you get those customers, I mean, back in the day when we were doing, we used to have a customer write out a hand letter or something like that. We didn't do anything with it. They'd write out the letter and I might put it in my own
The back of
personal
the book.
portfolio or whatever.
Got
Price it here,
20,
flip
30
through and read some of the things that my customers. But it's so much nicer to have a fucking video of your customer. Explaining their situation. Yeah, I had 75 estimates when I did my fucking landscaping and I got ripped off. The guy took my deposit, never came back to do the work and all of that shit. You know, I want that in a video testimonial. And, you know, Rock Solid, they're gonna do my roof with nothing down and then I can pay them when I'm completely satisfied. They took all of that fear and doubt away from me. Put that in a video, man. That's huge. How many of your other customers are feeling the same thing? You know, some of our most powerful stories that we can tell the customers through the eyes of a different customer. Instead of us saying, yeah, this is what's going to happen to your roof. Well, you know what? Maybe your situation isn't the same, but Mrs. Jones down the street, whose house is about the same age, you know, she tried to put it off for another year on her roof, and she called me in the middle of fucking winter because she was having major ice dams. She had $30,000 worth of damage. That's something you like to avoid, isn't it? I'm not telling you that your roof is fucked up and you're gonna have the same issues, but I'm telling you that your neighbor had those issues, and you know, I'm planting that seed to them. Use those third-party stories, and if you can use the testimonial, that's huge.
Oh, yeah.
But it builds up into your drop. You know, getting the referrals, getting the 5-star reviews, guys. This is where fucking this day and age is going. It's going all. I mean, you're taking some marketing classes and shit right now. I mean, it's all fucking internet. It's all. I mean, isn't it?
Yeah, they say if you don't have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, the 5 major ones, you're invisible. No one knows you're around.
Yeah.
So.
And with those, you target specific areas that you want to do. I mean, yeah, we got this billboard campaign and everything else.
And it's
Well,
not
the major
expensive.
thing is what you can say is with the TV is to say we're trying to save money and just plaster everywhere through YouTube, Facebook, and if we can save money by giving you guys, if you do this for us, you'll help us out and we can help you out.
Yeah, we want to be known everywhere. The problem is how much do you think an ad on the Super Bowl was this weekend?
A lot.
Did you look up?
Yeah, that was back in like 1967. No, it was that much.
So to get one spot on there costs us millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Do you want us to pay Channel 4 or what channel was it even on? Channel 2?
Channel
You want us to pay Channel 2? You want us to pay Fox the fucking millions of dollars to have one 30-second spot? Or would you rather us disperse that and pay you guys to do the advertising for us?
How much is a local ad though?
A local ad, I don't know, it's still fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like
This is a
250.
election year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the TV is bombarded with fucking all of these different political guys and all that other shit on there. So that drives the cost of TV advertising up. We could jump into that game and spend all of that money, or this is what we've decided to do. We've decided to, you know, put our efforts and our money in a little bit different area. You know, when you're on TV, man, you're hitting everybody. You're on these billboards. I mean, how much do they talk about billboards in your marketing class?
Oh, I haven't heard anything about that. It's pretty, it's horrible to use because you can't.
Billboards?
Yeah, well, you don't know who's looking at it, you don't know how much people, the numbers.
Or the data whatsoever.
Yeah.
Carver guys use billboards.
I think you should use some, that's my opinion, it's just.
Well,
Part of it's the branding, but you know,
Well,
they come
yeah,
in
that's the
here.
biggest part is the branding, getting your name out there, letting
Video
people see it.
billboards have changed everything though. Because now you can buy a package and you can be on 17 fucking billboards where you used to have to just hit one in one area.
I think it should be, your budget on billboard shouldn't be the highest.
No,
You know, like
Obviously.
billboard.
Just one of those billboards like $1 grand a month.
Flyers.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
Yeah. Well, you're beating the logo into people's heads.
Because I even saw
But,
the
but is it
customer
the
last
right
night.
people? So you have 300,000 impressions that you're
Oh, of
putting out to
course.
people,
Yeah,
but do you really wanna run 30,000 or 300,000 people in Detroit?
no.
You know,
When you're marketing on Facebook and shit, you can pinpoint each fucking zip code that you're
Exactly.
in. Save on, we're pinpointing each address, each zip code that we're in.
Yeah.
You know, we're not hitting these other areas, so yeah, it's great. You know, Levi comes in here and says, oh, I want everybody to know who we are. Do you? You want everybody calling Rock Solid? I don't.
No, fuck no.
I want houses that the
Why not?
household income is 100,000. You want to go in a fucking $10,000
No, but
people's
you
that's
guys-
an annual income?
You guys can, screen the calls anyways, right?
No.
You can't start doing that though. People fucking lie to you and they're not.
Well, I mean, if you
We'll
How much
set
you make?
rates, man.
Hey,
You run
but-
every
hey,
Detroit.
Mr. Nate, how much you make?
How
How much you make a year?
I'm going on vacation for 40,000.
Yeah, see?
I want
Liar.
the $200,000 houses and up.
Yes.
I want the household incomes over 100 G's. People with fucking 750 credit scores.
You have been approved for 100,000.
I love that.
Anything else I can
You know
do?
what? You know, and that's that. You know, I mean, Levi was like, I had a post or something on there, and two people recommended Rock Solid on it. We were by far the first, most one that was on there. A couple people threw out some bullshit names and stuff. He goes, man, we should be lighting all this. Everybody should know who we are. Not really. I mean, I see where he's coming from. You want to be a household name and everything else, but how much of that is bullshit that we can't even run? You know, I mean, we had over $1 million in finance turndowns. We want $3 million
No.
just to light the board up and it makes it look good, and we're calling in all these things. I mean, ask Scotty B. Fucking, he's the finance turndown king.
That's why he's a fucking plumber now.
Got a little discouraged. But no, I mean, we're moving in the right direction. We are getting the billboards, we're getting them out there, and we're running different ads and stuff on it. But this is where we're going to make our money, getting those testimonials and building that up in our discount. This is a real legit discount. You know, and then you attach it with the sign, and you attach it with that they live on a corner lot, and we can get double the amount of people and the double amount of traffic. Mention that to them. Say, look, I can put a fucking billboard out there, and 300,000 cars drive past it every fucking day. But are they in the neighborhoods that we want? You're in the neighborhood that I want. Let me put a billboard on your fucking front lawn. You got a school across the street. I mean, I have 300,000, but I might have 3,000 people in the neighborhood that I want to get into. That makes more sense than me wasting $1,000 every month on a fucking billboard that half the people aren't going to even fucking care about.
Might not even call. Might not even get one call from it.
The only reason
Put a
you
sign
don't
in your
notice-
yard though, and guarantee a couple of your neighbors are gonna call me.
And then piggyback it like he said. Once I got my sign out here for 2 weeks, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to send my canvassing crew through. Because now your neighbors have seen these signs out in your lawn for fucking the last 2 weeks, pounded in our fucking Rock Solid logo impression, and all of a sudden we knock on their door, they get a flyer in the door. Chances of us setting that lead, if they are interested in something, go way up. That helps us out. But we can save the money from putting it into advertising. We'd rather pay you.
Yeah.
You're creating a win-win. Okay? You're showing them where that money's coming from. The next part is putting urgency. How do we put urgency on it?
We only get a couple for zip code.
We only got a couple for roofs.
I got a ton of leads out here. This is on a first come, first served basis. It's the first person who wants to be able to help us dive into this neighborhood. If it's not you, somebody else will take advantage of it.
Yeah. Especially the canvassing ones. Joe
We only
Lewis.
have a limited amount of money allocated from our budget to spend on this type of promo.
Yeah. I mean, you're not.
Let me
only
call and
house
see
you're
what's
not-
available.
Yeah.
I don't know, I might have opened my mouth too quick. Let me find out real quick, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Now you get to the phone and they're like, oh wait, oh, no, wait, I wanted to do that. That sounds good to me. But now you're telling me you might not be there?
Yeah, you're planting the seed of its.
There could be lots. You know what, I may have spoke too soon. Hold on 1 second. What's your zip code? Real quick, let me check.
Yeah.
And then when we say no, it's not available, they're shitting their pants. Well, let me see if I can maybe pull something from a neighboring zip code. You know, maybe I can bring the funds in from something else. Come on, you gotta have something.
Did you guys just say no every time?
We could. If
Like
we're not
what?
on speaker,
Like
they don't
that
know what the fuck
customer.
we're saying.
Exactly.
Right.
You ain't got nothing? Look harder. Come on, sharpen your pencil. What can you do for me? You gotta be able, I mean, I got the corner lot, I got 2 signs of traffic out. You gotta find something, whether you got the money from it or not, you gotta make this worthwhile.
They start getting involved when you're doing that. Like,
No.
yeah, there's only 15 cars just passed by.
Come on,
You think they're buying into your discount then?
That's,
Oh, 100%.
Fuck yeah. How can we get every single customer to be like that? It's all about your story. It's planting that seed early.
Take your time with it. Explain it. That's the biggest thing, guys, because if you're just rattling through it, can you take some pictures? Can you do a testimonial? Can you do this? Can you do that? Hey, if I could save you some money, would you mind taking some pictures? If I could save you some money, would you mind doing a brief testimonial? If I could save you some money on this job you're going to do anyway, you know, would you put the sign in the yard? You know, slow it down a little bit. Fucking make it real.
Get
You
everybody
know, and then when you
excited
pull
about it.
this out and you're going through your checklist, do it right with them, right there in front of them.
Cordis brought it up, you know, earlier too. When you're in that warm up, when you're bullshitting and walking around the house, and you notice their landscaping and stuff, stroke their ego, compliment them, okay, and then they'll tell you a story. Oh yeah, I had 3 estimates, and once I got mine done, all my neighbors called that same company wanting to know who I went with and this and that. That's fucking great. I'm putting that in, you know, memory bank or whatever. I'm going to use that when I come back to the close. And say, didn't you say something about your landscaping home? Tell that story again. Oh yeah, all my neighbors, all of that. So you're basically your neighborhood referral, aren't you? Well, yeah. So if I get your job, there's probably a lot of your neighbors that are going to end up calling me from once I get your job, right? Oh yeah, that guy across the street, you pulled up, he was wondering what the hell you were doing the minute you pulled up. Well great, I want him too, I want him. Well, we're going to make up our money on the back end. Now when you get to the phone, you mention that to us on the phone.
You got his number?
Yeah. Let me get over there. Did you go knock that door? Did you go leave a flyer over there? Make sure you do. But you got more neighbors, so that's that neighbor. So you're dealing with Mr. Jones. Keep up with the Joneses. You got Mr. Jones there. You're sitting at his kitchen table. Well, let's fucking work this guy. You know, what can we do? Make him feel special, but make sure just because you're getting him excited, he's like, yeah, 15 cars just drove by. You still got to put that urgency on.
Yeah.
Because you get too excited, you throw in that discount, and then they're like, okay, cool, I'll call you back tomorrow. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I missed that one step. And it happens. That's why working the phone is so huge, because you know, you're getting reminded of, hey, this is only good for today. I'm willing to do this for today. You say